In my dirty time, surfing through down the coming down, I'm through, falling out of control. It's Big Mo. I'ma let you know. I'ma let the po bring, baby. I done came down. I'm out H time. He get up on three. I'm coming out on in your way. Screw. Screw. Anyway. Ooh. It more. Oh. So now coming down on chrome. Trying to force they think they're gonna grown. Yeah, look on. Yeah, look on. In my phone. Haters better leave Mo alone. Yo, what's the deal? Mario here in Fighting Exchange at Infighting FX on all platforms right now. We are live 702 in the building. Let me just get my media assets then. How about that? And I'll stop doing that. I'm gonna do it anyway then. Fuck it. Listen, this is a big show today. This is a big show. Lot of stuff going on here. I am running a test following the show. We're going to test out my IRL equipment and see, what a stream looks like out there in the real world. Out there, with the crazies. The fucking crazies live out there, dude. Let me tell y'all something right now. All right. I'm just gonna give y'all a little story real quick. It's very, very short. So there was a guy at the corner of the street, and he had a sign and it said, I need a job. And then the sign underneath it said anything will help. Which I honestly think is like really smart, by the way. Like if you are a person that is, in need of help, right? In that situation, you'll find the problem. And this isn't like my personal opinion. This is like my, 5 years working as a convenience store clerk next to Flower Bluff, which if you Google that in Corpus Christi, you'll find out it's one of the homeless capitals of South Texas. And so on that job, I learned a lot. And I learned that people don't want to see, need money or need food or stuff like that. Again, this isn't my opinion. I'm just saying from what I've seen and from what I've observed, people will not. A lot of people won't, right? I mean, a lot of people will, but a lot of people won't. The ones that they will give a lot more to, or like more people will be inclined to give, are the ones where the sign sounds like they're trying to help themselves. Again, not my opinion. I'm not putting anything into this. This is just, again, observation. So anyway, the guy had that sign, and I was like, behind a car that was like right next to him, right? And then on the other side was a bunch of Girl Scouts. And then on the other side of the corner, I kid you not, it was a softball team. I don't know if they were doing car washes or if they were just taking people's money. I mean, not that I'm saying that's wrong. Again, I'm not putting any opinion in this. All right. I don't give a fuck. I've already said that, so I'm not going to keep saying it. I'm getting mad at myself for saying that. And so anyway, there are these three factors working a corner, attempting to get money. Pretty sure only one of them had the permit. Not that I give a fuck again, but so I see the guy with the sign and he's just standing there, and the softball people, like, they're coming with a helmet, like a softball helmet, and they're like going down, like, You know what I mean? Like, they're not even like, hey, does anybody want to donate? And then somebody's like, here you go. They're just going down like it's fucking church, bro. Like, they got the basket and they're just like looking at every car like, yeah, you ain't donating shit. We could see by your shitty car. You ain't like, that's the vibe I'm getting as they're passing me by, and I'm not giving any money. No, I don't have cash. But I wasn't going to give anything anyway. So anyway, they're out there and the guy is just standing there. The softball people are hustling. The cookies gals, the cookie girls are they're not in traffic, which honestly I think is the best idea. And they had to be the only ones there with the permit, I'll be honest. They're like, they're kind of like doing like the sign spinning stuff. I mean, they're not spinning signs, but it's like that kind of routine, right? They got like the purple cookies and the green cookies. And so I have my window down. By the way, it's fucking hot in Corpus. It's hot in Corpus. I saw Doomy, right? He sent a picture of the group chat and he was under like 14 pounds of snow, I think it was. I think it was half a ton of snow that fell on his roof, if I'm not mistaken. I could have the numbers off. It could be like a quarter of a ton, but either way, yeah, he's like outside on his table that's like here, right? Like the table would like be up to here, and like he's sitting on his chair and the snow's like up to here. Like he's in the chair, like enveloped in snow. And meanwhile, my pits are sweaty. So fucking Mother Nature. What are you gonna do? So anyway, Matt, I'm gonna put you on, but I'm gonna just hide you for a second.
Go for it.
I'm gonna fix the other one that way it doesn't look all fucked up. Anyway, so the candy girls, I mean the cookie girls, they're shaking the cookies, the money makers out there, and you see all the colors, and I think that's like such a good way of like getting the fat asses like me, right? Because I see that purple moving, and all of a sudden I can taste that is it Samoan? No, they don't even call that anymore, right? It's like it became racist, I guess. Whatever it is, the purple one, that's my favorite. That's actually the only one I like. And you're like, oof, got to get that for the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's like so much is going on here. And I have my window rolled down, hot as shit, and all I hear is, "Oh, thank you, sir," like really loud. And I look up, and the guy with the sign, they're giving him he gives him like change or I don't know, maybe $1, whatever. He gives him something, right? And the guy's in front of me in the truck. So he does that, and I guess the little girl that had just passed my car heard and doubles back to that car. Meanwhile, the cookie girls fucking swarm this guy's truck, and the guy's standing there like, what are y'all doing? Like, and they're like waiting for him to like roll down the window. And all I can see, it looked like he rolled down the window, but I think he rolled it down this much because he went like this to the window, and all I heard was, I don't have any fucking money. I started laughing hysterically to the point where all the girls looked at me like, what the fuck? And then a woman who comes over from the cookie people and a woman who comes over from the cheerleader people. Now, I'm not going to say the race of these women because I don't want to, that's going to get into a whole thing, right? Let me just say that I'm from South Texas. And when you see these two women specifically join forces, that's it, dude. You're cooked. Just fucking give it up. This is the power of a Karen and the power of a entitled bitch. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I don't know. I know now I can't ever give both races. So anyway, they come marching over and just bitching this dude out. Just like absolutely laying into him, right? And meanwhile, I'm like, dude, the light still hasn't fucking turned green. Like, oh my God. And it looks like maybe one of the little girls is crying at first. She's like this in her mom's like lap. I swear to God, she goes like this. I'm seeing her again. All this is happening like right in front of me. I see her like this. She goes to me to look at me. And I'm like, this little isn't crying. Like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, this homeless guy is just there with a sign like, I knew better. I knew better. Like, this is not what I signed up for. And so all of a sudden the guy just starts honking super loud. He's just like, "Meow," and his horn was so loud. Listen, if that guy bought his car, let's say it was like 50 grand, right? It was like a Ram truck, pretty stripped down though, from what I could tell, factory mostly. Uh, I'm pretty sure if he's put anything into it, it was the horn. They were like, "Hey, do you want us to soup up your tires?" He's like, "Nah." Do you want limo tent? Nope. Oh, you want us to put like some crazy subs in the back? We got this little. I'm not a music fan. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. You know what you can do? Jack up that horn. Let's get that horn. I want that clown horn. All right. I want that fucking circus horn that just scared the shit out of your kids and made him drop his fucking popcorn all over the aisle horn. But anyway, so they're like, what the fuck? And the light finally turns green, and the kids are like being yelled at to go to the side, and just the two women. That's it. Everyone else is gone. The cars are going, and these two women will not let this fucking guy go. And I don't know why. I'll be honest. I wanted nothing to do with this. I was starting to get like, honestly, like a little anxiety just watching it, thinking like, oh my God, this is the world we live in. Like this could easily be happening to me right now. And I get scared in those moments because I don't know how I'll react. And I don't mean like I'm a psycho, like I'm gonna stab people in the face or anything. I just mean like I know I have it in me to be like super ugly. I know I have it in me to look for that thing. And you gotta understand, like I was a sick kid, right? At the end of the day, it's like so many people picked on me. I had to find something being the shorter kid. And that's what I found. Like, let me dissect this person and find anything that will, hint at some sort of insecurity. Uh, you know, I would say most of the time it was in school, at least, it was, talking shit about somebody's, you know what? I'm not gonna say that. But anyway, yeah. So the guy's getting yelled at, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm turning around, or I'm gonna go around them, right? So it's clear. I get into the lane and I'm about to haul, right? And I'm like, you know what? I got it. I let the foot off the gas, so I'm just like coasting right by him. And I swear to God, I'm like going so slow, they all like turned and looked. And I go, he said he didn't have any fucking money. And I took off their fucking faces. Oh shit, they did not. I think that when they saw me, they thought I was gonna be like try to be like, hey guys, come on, let's be cool about this. But I was like, you know what? One of them is going to tell this story, right? And then they're going to tell my part. And the smartest people that hear the story are going to be like, wow, that guy was fucking funny at the end. I'd suck that dick. Anyway, Bruce Gas, what's going on, champ? He said, what's up, Mario? What is up is we are going to have a crazy show here. What's going on? Machine Gun Matt in the house. Matt, are you going to stream to your channel?
Oh my God. Hold on. I need to laugh first. That last part was fucking funny.
Dude, I don't know what came over me either. I was like, this could only inject me into it.
We can rock out with you. It don't matter, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I have it open. If at any point you want to open yours, just let me know and I'll jump off whichever one you want. If you want Twitch, if you want YouTube,
that's cool.
Whatever.
That's cool, man. We rocking out.
All right, hell yeah. I saw you got the live abilities on TikTok now.
Well, I've had them. It's just like this. First off, this TikTok, your fucking app from my laptop sucks. I just want to let y'all know that TikTok, figure it out and get it together. But yeah,
the app sucks.
I've been wanting to use it because I've been like I've said in the past, I want to expand my TikTok community. There's no real good way to like. I just need to update my equipment.
Well, you know what you should do?
Work together.
You know what you should do? And I'm actually thinking about doing this. If you ever invite me on your show. No, I'm just kidding. He did, guys. He did. I came on the other day. I know. I was joking.
On my show.
It was a joke. Right there.
Last month.
Yeah, I literally just came on. No. I was thinking about this. So if you download the TikTok Studio to your desktop or laptop or whatever, you can actually use the StreamYard keys to go live from there. So like be live on TikTok on their platform, you know what I mean? But you can't go live from StreamYard though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can only go live from one of the others. So it's like if you're gonna shut down everything else, then shit, you might as well go live on TikTok.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
I need to upgrade all my equipment and stuff anyway, bro. But how have you been, bro?
yeah, what you got is perfect for the TikTok Studio. Oh man, I'm good. I'm feeling better. Scheduled to go golf Sunday. I was supposed to golf this weekend. Didn't end up going because I was feeling sick. You know, I played when I was younger, but there was this lie, and Matt, you'll know the correlation I'm about to make. When I was younger and I was into boxing, there was this fib that I'd learned was propaganda later, that if you're a boxer, you shouldn't lift weights. Now, that is absolutely false. That's a false equivalent. Now, to say you shouldn't power lift or you shouldn't body build or you shouldn't get involved in like 5x5s or workouts where the rep range is low and the set range is high based on 1 to 3 max PRs or reps. Yeah, of course that's true. But saying, oh, don't touch a weight, don't touch a free weight if you're a boxer is a false equivalency. It's stupid. That's not true. The truth is most old guys from the old school era didn't have the understanding that we do today over the body and how it works. That's not to say you need to lift weights, but anyway, that said, it was this idea, Matt, that if you golfed, it ruins your baseball swing. Have you ever heard that before?
I've heard that actually. But let me ask you a follow-up question to that because I also heard this. Do you like to fish?
I do, but my family got me into it so late in life.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do anything.
Because I've always heard
you emasculating for me to go with friends.
As like a man at a certain age, you either like to fish or you like to golf. And I've never seen somebody do both.
I love both, but I just don't know how to tie a knot. I don't know. I mean, all I know how to do is cast my reel. That's it. You know what I mean? And it's really like emasculating in a situation to be like, waiting like the girlfriend for your friend to like get your golf shit set. And you're just like standing there with your reel like this, like, there you go. Set it up like I'm your girlfriend. And so, yeah, that's the only reason I don't go. It's funny because I live in Corpus, and all throughout college, people that live like up north in like Michigan or Oklahoma, they all assumed like that we could surf and we knew everything about fishing and like boating. And it's like, dude, I haven't been to the beach in like 5 years. I mean, not that long, but I'd gone 5 years without going to our beach for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Matt, this is a big topic show, champ. Everything, literally everything. And you know, the thing is too, Matt, you and I had been saying this all winter long. And I would say as far back as October. But obviously it only intensified over the last couple months, that this was all connected and it would all seem connected. And then, and this TKO, you know, thing and Saudis and Riyadh sees, all of it was just coming together to form this like fucking Optimus Prime conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? Fucking the Power Rangers Zord. Wait, what did they have? What did the Power Rangers have? Was it a Zord? No, not a Zord.
There's Megazord.
Megazord, that's what it was. You know, like fucking Megazords or Captain Planet coming together, you know, to fucking Epstein all the kids that for some reason he gave powers to. Like, why not give it to adults? But whatever. And we're seeing it now. We're seeing it all converge, Matt. We called it. We said it. This would happen. I said specifically, if you look at the comings and goings, at the decision makings of one Dana White as it pertains to not just the UFC, but slap boxing, you know, what he did when he bought things like Pride and WEC and Strikeforce and how he operated, that to say he's coming in to fix the broken guard, that was never accurate. Not because he's like a bad guy or he doesn't do business well, nothing like that. But the simple fact is this. It is very hard to explain to a fighter how him getting punched in the face is less valuable than another person getting punched in the face. And to that point, Matt, I want to ask you, the 15 M's that Conor Benn got, we see now with Zuffa is all headed towards, by the way, not even Paramount, right? They're not even going to be on Paramount. It's going to be on the co-feature, Matt, the co-main event of Tyson Fury's fight on Netflix. Matt, first of all, I'm not even going to ask you if you think it's ridiculous to pay a co-main event guy $15 million because I know you know that is
a whole lot of money.
But I would say it's even more crazy when you think about the fact that Regis Prograis is the fighter they've chosen. And I have no problem with Regis Prograis. His coach and his trainer, both listeners of the show. Shout out to both of them. Shout out to John too. And this isn't about Regis, not at all. But we all know what Regis represents, right? We all know where Regis has been. Prograis' career has been on a steep decline. Okay. That tournament when he fought Josh Taylor and it looked like the world was his oyster was a really, really long time ago. So you got the 15 M's for Conor Benn. They called it a super fight. They had the audacity, Mark Shapiro, to call it a super fight. I was like, dude, you need to watch your wording or you're going to get fucking shit on out here in these boxing streets.
Yeah, that's how you promote. But anyway, how you promote super fight.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, that's true. That's true. You're right. You got to piss people off. Anyway, I want to ask you, Sean O'Malley's come out. We saw what's her name, Tegan or whatever the fuck her name is that covers MMA or whatever, and she talking to several of her people who she has through various camps. There is a lot of talk that UFC fighters are not happy across the board. Super fucking pissed. Now, Sean O'Malley specifically came out, and I'll find exactly what he said while you give us your thoughts on it, Matt, because this is a very, very interesting development in the timeline. Is it not?
It is very. It's exactly what I thought was a problem. It's not a big problem.
Yep, called it.
But it's starting. It's a little fire that can get bigger, and they got to be careful with what they're doing over there at TKO on the Amy Mann's boxing side. Now, Mario, we had this debate the other day about paying Conor Benn such amount of money for who and for what. Never in my life would I have thought that Regis Prograis was the answer to that question. But it also gives credence as to why he didn't take that reported Frank Martin fight that he turned down. And we see why he turned it down. Because he probably got more money to fight Conor Benn on Netflix. Would you not agree? Former world champion, two-time champion.
For sure.
Good name on your resume. Now, also, to not disrespect Regis Prograis, who watches this show here. We know why they picked Regis Prograis. He's a 140-pounder coming up. Conor Benn needs to make his way back down to 147 pounds. This fight is at 150 pounds, almost Canelo weight, if you remember the good days. So pretty much they're fighting at Canelo weight from the former 150 and a couple quarters.
For a guy in Regis who honestly
he never fought beyond 140.
He's gonna walk into that bitch at 150.
So yeah, the size difference is going to be crazy, but it's a big stage. I understand it, but looking at what Sean O'Malley said, now he didn't have any venom in what he said on that podcast, but his words were interesting, and to look at that as a former champion, that he didn't even make that much money as a champion selling pay-per-views, no less. But you're going to give this guy who is barely coming over to this company, because sure, it's for Zuffa Boxing, but we all work under the same umbrella now. This guy to come into a combat sport that you're paying for one fight gets $15 million. Now, like we spoke of the other day, Mario, as a UFC champion, at least all the champions, notable champions, had to have been looking at that and thought, what the hell is this? thinking it's a joke. But then you come around the next couple of days and it's not a joke. He's got anywhere from 10 to 15. Now everybody's throwing 15, but I feel like it's anywhere in between 10 and 15. But still, for a UFC fighter, a champion, that has to be one of the craziest things you've ever thought, because they've never been too keen on co-promoting in the UFC. They never want to give you the money unless you've earned that super stardom. They're paying for stars, not for the athletes that they have to compete in the sport that they have. But that goes back to, like I said, Mario, there's no money. There's no money in MMA because of the UFC was able to control the number for so long that they're still, like, as little as their number is, they're still paying the most. But they're not paying 15 million, and they're damn sure not paying you to go fight on somebody else's network. That's another thing.
Yes,
As,
exactly.
as a UFC fighter, you're like, okay, not only did he come over here for $15 million, but he gets to go fight on a whole new platform not related to this company at all. Hell, this company just outbid that company for the WBD. So it's like, how does that work? But yeah, you have to feel disrespected as a UFC fighter, and just, looking into the history of what this was, and it came up earlier, and I did some research to kind of confirm. From
Uh-huh.
what I looked in the history books, this is one of the highest paid undercard fighters of all time. Do you know that?
Really? I
One
did
of the
not.
highest paid of all time, bro. Bro, Devin Haney just fought on a Ryan Garcia Rolly undercard and a Benavidez card. How much money do you think he got paid?
How
He
much?
got paid more than that. So if they say he got paid
Dude.
more than that, and more than a Danny Garcia taking on a Matisse, more than a Canelo fighting on a Floyd undercard, bro, that's insane. That's insane. But yeah, and then like I said, back to the terms of just being the UFC fighter, you have to feel disrespected, bro. And you're gonna have somebody at some point, if they get a big enough star, is gonna put their foot down, and that's when it's gonna become a real problem. But I guarantee, if this is the thing, get ready. Like I said, Conor McGregor is gonna fight Floyd Mayweather on Netflix. Book it now, just off this whole relationship, because this counts as a Zuffa event. How?
I know.
That
Well, it is a
I want to
Zuffa.
see the details of the
It's a
contract. I
Zuffa
want to see the details.
promoted fight, right? Like in the same way if
But
a
shouldn't they
PBC
be? Are they
fighter.
not exclusive to Paramount then? Because they said they
No, no,
were.
no, 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 no. But it doesn't work that way because look, think about it like this, right? It's boxing. It's a boxing fight, right? That like two fighters are fighting that would normally be with PBC, but Matchroom won the purse bid, right? It's kind of in the same venue as that. And I don't think there are any other promoters associated. Like I'm not even talking Matchroom, obviously not Matchroom, but like I don't think there's any smaller like the way Ryan Garcia's contract kicks in now, right? Everybody kept saying, "Oh, this is the last contract with contracted fight for Ryan with Golden Boy," but no, that's not the case. You know, it was the last fight before his promotional rights as a promoter kick in for his fights. I think there's like two or something like that, but whatever. Dude, first of all excellent points. You're absolutely right. And real quick, I just want to add credence to this other aspect of it too, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I had every single idea. You really added to the landscape of this thing, and now it's starting to really come into focus, and we're really starting to see the operation, and it is very, very similar to what we thought we were going to see. And so the reason why I want to bring this other point up is only to see, again, the writing on the wall. I'm not saying we're going to get an issue with this or it's going to be an issue anytime soon. I'm just saying that the issues that go on in the UFC that we've seen from Zuffa related promoted combat sports are issues we could see in Zuffa at a much bigger level because it's chaotic, right? So you look at the heavyweight landscape, the current heavyweight landscape. In boxing, you cannot thrive as a promoter if you do not have a healthy heavyweight landscape, okay? There might have been a day where, in the last 20, 30 years in boxing where, a flashy ass welterweight, or an undefeated lightweight, could maybe make you a lot more money. But where Zuffa's at, they need a heavyweight. They need a heavyweight, and they need it to be interesting. But you look at what's going on with the UFC right now. Tom Aspinall, the belt, Gain, and what's his name? Bones Jones. My bad. All of this is just a shit show. And again, it all points again towards this. idea that it's not to say Dana's going to fail because of these things that happen in MMA. That's retarded. It is to say that don't say that this is the answer. This is going to fix boxing. If you are only really saying it's going to fix boxing for y'all, it's going to fix it for the long-term and short-term goals that you have as a promoter in the sport. But again, it goes back to the point you're saying, Sean O'Malley's just the first one we're hearing from. Okay. Sean O'Malley, Matt, was in a very tough fight last time, correct?
Correct. That was a good
Very tough fight, right? And by the way, he looked actually really good
got another
compared
tough
to what
fight
I thought he
coming up.
was going to look
That's
like.
true.
Yeah. So he was in a really tough fight. Matt, did he come anywhere close to making 15 M's?
Absolutely not.
And that's crazy.
I would be
Hey, but was
surprised he made
Dana
over $1 million.
shooting in the was taking threes in the gym? Because I don't think Dana was in the gym with them either, right? So at the end of the day, what we're seeing from Sean O'Malley is the natural logic that comes to a fighter's head. And here's the kicker. Most of them are wrong. Most of them are leaving out the full context of why the money works the way it does, how the money in boxing works the way it does compared to that of MMA and UFC. And they're not talking about that part where there is context to give, because the truth is it doesn't matter when you're the guy getting fucking punched in the face. When you are Sean O'Malley, Bones Jones, Ngannou, or any of the other guys that have had issues with the UFC pay scale over the last years or a couple years or whatever, you have to immediately point this glaring issue out, because it's obvious. You're paying a guy $15 million to not be the headliner, and you're feeding him a soft touch. Shout out to Luke Thomas. Shout out to fucking Abe. First of all, I should have said Abe first. Shout out to the very few journalists out there that I saw call this a mile of fucking way. Because there's no way to get around this. And they all said it. You know what they said, Matt? Listen to this. They said, Conor Benn's fucking a genius. Conor Benn is a fucking genius because he just signed a one-fight deal, meaning that not only is he going to get this bag, but now he goes into what amounts to a contract year. If you know anything about other sports like football, basketball, baseball, then you know contract years for superstars, for ballers that are trapped in rookie contracts. These are the moments to show out. It is absolutely no coincidence at all that you can equate a player's best years with his contract years. It seems to me every time a guy's up for contract and he's going to be a free agent next year, he happens to ball out that year. Why? Because he knows the world is looking. He knows that the world is watching, and he's trying to make some fucking money. That's exactly what that is. And we are in a situation where Conor Benn's going to be able to make 15 mil in a relatively easy fight and then be a free agent and possibly make an even bigger bag and not have to sign with Zuffa. And that's the biggest problem here, Matt. The biggest problem is that Zuffa is operating with their nose wide open. Listen, you want to pay this kind of money because you have it, that's fine, but you better be able to capitalize on it. And if you think Tyson Fury against anyone not named Joshua or Wilder is going to draw enough for this Conor Benn fight versus Prograis to mean something, I'm sorry, you're wrong. You are better off wasting those 15 M's trying to secure fucking HBO's library and build a fucking proper DAZN.
Whoa. Hold on a second, because you hit on exactly what they're trying to do. Mario, they're trying to sell the dream for one night. Trying to sell that dream. Because you say anybody besides Joshua or Wilder again or Usyk even. I disagree with, especially with where they're going. Because Tyson Fury has been there with lesser names, sold a bunch of tickets. Conor Benn has been there at the Tottenham Spur, sold a bunch of tickets. Why wouldn't I put these two guys together? And if the plan is to maybe put up another couple of Zuffa guys, maybe see if Walsh is ready to go again. Why not? This is what you can get at
yeah.
boxing. They're trying to buy a crowd. Because think about it, bro. They might not make that money back because who knows what they're paying Fury, bro. Because you said they
Oh,
need
I
a
know.
heavyweight.
I
You
know.
said they need a heavyweight. They got one. Tyson Fury's their heavyweight.
But see, and that's the problem. No, they didn't. They got
But
another dude on a
to me,
short ass
to
leash.
me,
At the end of the day,
as long as they're
Fury
the
in
highest bidder, they got
listen, Fury. Okay, you're
as long
right
as they're the
because
highest bidder, they got him.
yeah. No. You're absolutely right. Fury and Wilder isn't worth the kind of money that Matchroom would want to put up. However, because Turkey has the bag, while there are no contractual obligations for Fury or Joshua, the simple fact is that the math doesn't add up anywhere else. If that fight is going to happen, which that would be the richest fight for either of them, I think at this
Remember, it's in
point,
verbal agreement.
then it is going to happen. It's going to happen because Turkey makes it happen. That's it. That's the only reason. So if that's going to happen, then obviously Zuffa is going to have a piece of it.
Think about this,
unless it becomes like one of them ring cards, which
you got to remember that Tyson Fury pulled this move already after the first Deontay fight, because who did he sign with to help him negotiate in America right after that first Wilder fight? He went to Top Rank, and they got more
he went to
money
Top
for
Rank.
that.
You're right.
By having Bobby
Yeah.
Arum in his corner,
Hey,
build up his
and
character in America, making more money. Same
Hey,
thing
and
here.
who did he go to before that?
Oh, bro, he went to Queensberry.
The Irish Mob.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. Oh, damn, bro. Hey, chill, bro. Hey, you can't say that shit live when we're live, bro. Why you do that?
But
You're
bro,
gonna
he
get
pulled
banned.
this move before, and like I know Eddie and AJ. Do you think Eddie, after what just happened, and he knows that Fury AJ fight's gonna happen, do you think he went to AJ and was like, "Hey, we're still good, right? Like this fight, like we said, this fight's gonna happen, but are you like,
This is
are
my
you
response.
leave?"
This is my response to your question. And this is my response to my response.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off?
My balls was hot.
That's one of my favorite moments. That's one of my favorite
My
moments.
balls were hot. My ball is hot. You know why? Because Scottie Pippen over here to my left just fucking tossed that bitch up. And now I'm Michael Jordan, like fucking flying from the fucking free throw line, about to alley-oop this bitch. Matt, you just said it. You just said it all, champ. Because I'm saying, sitting over here, like, Conor Benn's a mastermind. He's a genius. He just got this company to overpay him like it's HBO dealing with Al Heyman in the 2000s. But maybe he's not the mastermind. Maybe he's not who we think he is. And Matt just said it right now. He don't even realize he just said the most genius thing ever. For all I know, at this point, listen to me. For you 40 that are on right now, listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. I think Eddie sent Conor Benn. I said it. I'm starting to wonder if Eddie sent Conor Benn. At this point, it makes more sense. It makes more sense than what Zuffa's doing. Let me just like point it out to you real quick, right? Here's the conversation. Oi, Conor. Yo, I can't do it, dog. Oh, no. I'm fucking. Okay, hold up. Let's be for real. All right, stop joking. All right. Oi, mate, I can't get you the Ryan fight. I got no way of going. Bloody hell. And then Connor's like, oi, mate, I get it, but I need as many eggs as I can get. And then Eddie's like, oi, bloody hell, Ari, I just thought of an idea. You go to the Zuffa mates in America and rob them blind. And then Connor's like, oi, how do I make that happen? And Eddie's like, well, I hear it on the grapevine. The Americans, they're desperate. They're desperate for any boxing content. They'll give you a one-fight deal for $15 million. They will. And then Ben's like, oi, you reckon? And then Eddie's like, aye, they'll do it in a heartbeat, I say. I say you go over like Jack Sparrow, pirate their money out. They'll fight. They'll give you nobody. Everybody else is tied up with contracts. They'll give you someone like Regis Prograis. And then Ben's like, oi, bloody hell, you think they'd give me $15 million to fight Regis Prograis? They don't even have a card. And then Eddie's like, you could fight on their co-main event. Ben's like, Come on now, Eddie. You sound mad, Eddie. You sound mad. You sound like a bloody madman. They're not going to give me 15 mil to fight Regis Prograis on an undercard. And then Eddie's like, yeah, they will. And then he's like, you're going to go, mate, and you're going to go and get them 15 M's and you're going to bleed them dry. And then when you're done with that, you're going to come back here and we're going to make the Ryan Garcia fight. You're going to be 15 M's richer. That's how that went. I'm pretty sure.
At the end, you sounded like an old Boston criminal. You know what I mean? Like where they're talking like all like, man, huh?
Wow.
Like,
Okay. Well, I mean, I thought you were going to give me one of these, but I guess I'll have to give it to
no, it was good. It was good. I just wanted to say something funny.
Like you don't have a soundboard with an applause right there. That's all right. But bloody hell, Ari. That's my Hagrid for Harry Potter. There you go. All right, so look, we've spent a lot of time on how it could be a bonehead mistake. That said, Benn, Prograis, you want to just give your minute breakdown of what you think we might see and what it means?
I think Benn's gonna smash him, bro. What do you mean?
Stop him? First round?
No, not the first round. I think he'll go a few rounds. Even for what we've seen in Regis Prograis, he's one of those guys, like if you want to get him out of there, you're going to have to really try it. Now, this is going to be a big jump. I would suppose. Not for sure. It's not like a full 10 pounds, but it's probably going to be like a good 6 pounds for Regis to move up. First fight at 150 because he's fought at 140. I think he just had a super tough fight with JoJo that I thought he lost to JoJo Diaz. And then he's performed lackluster since. Benn is coming off. Granted, a couple tough fights at 160 pounds, but those are super tough fights, and he's trying to come back down to welterweight with the size advantage, the activity, who's looked better. I think Benn's gonna smash him, bro. To be honest.
Yeah, I happen to agree. I think that's again part of the reason that this is not great. I'm not gonna say it's not great business. I'm not gonna say that. I don't know it's not, right? Like for all I know, Dana and Turkey and Mark Shapiro, whoever else, have Conor, all but signed to an extension, based off of how he performs in this fight, right? For all I know, Turkey and Zuffa and TKO, they have as much money as they need to not fear losing any fight to another promoter. That said, though, right, the optics of a Benn just destruction, right? Like picture Vargas. You remember the Vargas, was it Samuel Vargas, right? Fight with Benn. Remember when he just torched Vargas? Fucking looked like he got hit with a fucking train.
Yeah.
Okay, that type shit. All right. That part. If we see one of those moments, okay, what it could inevitably lead to is a commercial for Matchroom in Conor's next fight, a commercial for Top Rank in their next fight, PBC in their next, it doesn't matter, for MVP and their next fight. As we've seen Jake Paul, be able to put on this massive event with Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey, a fight that I didn't think was going to, seem as big to people, but wow, people seem excited about it. So yeah, I don't know. I just ultimately I think it's a risk. It's a big risk, and we've been here before, right? Like if you're new to boxing, make sure you hit the like and the sub and the follow on this channel, and then head over to YouTube and click Machine Gun Matt's channel talking about sports radio. All right, and you can do that and sub to both because we've been here for the last 20 years plus. Okay, we've been here. And we've seen this. We've seen the guys who were on their one fight deal and promised the world, remember Terrence Crawford and Arum and how, how lovey-dovey they seemed at the beginning, but then look how look at what it looks like at the end. Right. And so I don't know. We'll see.
Absolutely. Correct.
Let me ask you this before we move on real quick. Who's the one guy, Matt, that you would be most scared of that started talking from the UFC? I mean, started talking that money shit, right? Started talking that Benn money shit. Now I want to preface it real quick, right? We're talking about a fighter that is loyal to the UFC and Dana, right? Who is a star or close to it, like star adjacent, on the rise, like high ceiling type. Paid well, or at least paid well enough that he's never complained. Like somebody that's obviously got to be part of their future, but is also a valued part now. Paddy Pimblett is the guy that comes to mind. I'm not saying he's valuable to UFC. I'm saying his narrative is valuable to the MMA community, right? Yeah. Sean O'Malley is loved, or he's beloved by his fans, but he has a lot of haters, right?
In terms of the star totem pole, Sean O'Malley's like bottom to the middle of that, you know.
Sure, absolutely.
Somebody like maybe like Islam Makhachev, Ilya Taporia, a Pereira. If those guys were to
that would worry you.
If one of those guys were to complain and start flirting with going to MVP and doing MMA, then you're really going to be like, okay, because now they're going to be like, well, you're paying this guy this. He's on Netflix. Jake just paid,
oh my God,
40-year-old Gina and 40-something-year-old Ronda to fight. Probably gave them a couple million. You're not even giving me $1 million.
Yo, you just said so much right there. So much. Wow. You. First of all, the idea of having another avenue, is already something that's not under the TKO. Like you and I, we're wrestling fans from back in the day, and you and I saw the Monday Night Wars, right? And we saw what they did to the culture of not just TV, but sports entertainment, and specifically combat sports as well. And this idea that you can get heat on a guy, or you can, pop a crowd for somebody simply because their brand is associated with one promotion and now they're fighting for the other, right? Like it was such a huge deal when Nick Diaz finally came over to the UFC, from Strikeforce. It was such a big deal when women were finally allowed, but it was really Ronda Rousey in a Strikeforce cage, now in a UFC cage, and that was mind-blowing, right? So these moments happen and they're huge. But you made me realize that having the opportunity, just having the option is already dangerous grounds enough. And just adding to it, RAF, right? What is it? Real American Freestyle?
Yeah.
That league, this is freestyle wrestling, right? That you would see in the collegiate or Olympic, setting, but it's a little more combat sports-ish, right? There's a little more entertainment. Like the Olympics, I love wrestling, I do, but the truth is it can be kind of boring to like watch until it starts, right? Like they miss out on everything, right? The pageantry of walkouts and music, and RAF, our Real American Freestyle, is capitalizing on it, and they have a huge card booked. Matt, did you see that? It's Uriah Faber, and
they got a lot of names, names you've recognized for sure.
Yeah,
and to me, like that is
Armin's fighting.
I think that's like the safest lane that a company like that would let somebody go down. It's just your pure because like you see them nowadays, they let people go do RAF. They had a couple people do it last time on their
BJJ. Yeah.
They let them go to like jiu-jitsu tournaments and little things like that, but you can't.
Yep.
It seems like nothing where you can be directly lose a combat fight you can go do.
Yeah.
It's weird with them. I don't understand.
You know what?
In that lane, especially because like when I first saw the Ronda fight get announced, I didn't think it was going to be an issue until the Conor Benn situation happened. Then I'm like, okay, now it's a problem. But like I said, if any of those name stars that I said in that list on that level of stardom, because there isn't a lot of them, but if one of those guys is like, hey, I want money, I need to be paid. You paid Conor this. We're the same company, same combat, big of a star. I'll go to Jake.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You know, and this RAF card, the last one was on the Fox Nation app. It had Colby Covington and Luke Rockhold,
Yep.
Bo Nickel and Yoel Romero were on it. You know, it's a very different thing, right? Like the chance for injury or knockout is obviously not there. Well, the chance for injury is there, but obviously not in the same kind of way, right? But I think what it really is the optics. You know, seeing a guy get tapped in that venue or seeing a guy get pinned in that venue, it doesn't have the impact of getting knocked out, right? Like, yo, what's his name's fucking life in entertainment was over when Jake Paul starched him. Like Jake Paul starched him and his internet presence for the rest of his life. He'll never live down that meme. You know what I'm saying? Looking like Maxine Dupree on the fucking mat and shit. And so ultimately, I think that's why they let him do it, because it's like, I'm not going to lose anything from my brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Completely agree.
Anyway, by the way, that card is the card that we were mentioning is, wait, where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's going to be Cejudo and Uriah Faber in the main event. That's going to be February 28th. It's going to be at the Millet Arena in Arizona State University. Oh, Temple. And it's going to be broadcast on Fox Nation. Henry Cejudo, Uriah Faber. The co-main event, this is a really good one. Giorgio Polas. So I forgot how to say it, but anyway, this guy has been one of the big stars over there at RAF, Real American Freestyle. Really built a name for himself. He is one of the originators of that TikTok trend where wrestlers like go to the beach or the gym or wherever they, you know, challenge people $100 if you could take me down type shit. He's one of those guys. I mean, he's actually a really great wrestler, but you know, that's how he built his internet fame, and he's going to be fighting Armand. Now, Matt, I know you've seen Armand doing all the rounds, bro. His PR team and his media team are so fucking good. You know, it doesn't matter that he doesn't speak English very well. It doesn't matter because he is. Go ahead, my bad.
I've seen him everywhere, bro. Everywhere on all of my platforms I have, he's popped up at least once.
Dude, him and Clav, I cannot get them off of my fucking screens. Like, you know, and no hate to Armand, but I'm just saying, like, they are everywhere.
Bro, yeah, it's incredible, especially like you said, the lack of English or clear English, you know what I mean? Natural English. And that he's just like semi-viral on a daily is crazy.
But does he remind you a little bit like his vibe of Golovkin? I don't mean his vibe like his character, like he's obviously kind of I mean, compared to Golovkin, he seems like a dick, right? But Golovkin seemed like the sweetest person in the world. But do you think he's using that kind of like charm, like that lack of English charm to like work in his favor? Like I feel like he knows exactly what he's doing.
Those Europeans where they're from, in that pocket between what is it, Russia and the bordering countries right there.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of have like a natural charisma about them anyway, in their own little charming way, where it's like you don't understand, but the more they say cool and wild out stuff like that, it becomes entertaining to a point.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's impressive. I like it, bro. And like I said, it's cool. But as a UFC fighter, it still wouldn't be acceptable because you probably don't even. What do you get from that? You probably don't make much from it.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. What the fuck? Yo, you should see my screen. It looked crazy. Anyway, this is real quick the clip of Sean O'Malley. I just wanted to show it real quick before we move on.
Zuffa boxing is something that's taken over from Turkey. Turkey is his name. He's like a prince or some shit in Dubai or something. Like hundreds of billions of dollars. They're paying out. I don't even know who Conor Benn is.
I don't know.
He like supposedly a pretty big name in boxing. But I never heard of it. Crazy, bro. Like, yeah, they really paid this Ben Johns.
Conor
Ben. They really paid him $15 million. It's like,
I wouldn't blame you for going to box.
Yeah, it's crazy how you just put in so much work in the UFC, put in so much work in the UFC to build this name, create this character, be this first star. It's like, I'm not making a fucking $15 million fight. It's also a business. If they think that's a good business and that guy's going to bring in money, I get it. I don't think anything personal in business. Business is business. He fucking hates Oscar De La Hoya. He hates Eddie Hearn. He hates these people. He's like, hey, let's take their biggest star and pay him, even if it's 15 million for, like, I could see it being out of like an ego thing. I guess it's a business thing too. You bring in a legit guy.
Yeah.
Again, I've never
15
really
million
heard of
to a
him.
billionaire's shit.
Because Zuffa Boxing is something that's taken over from Turkey. Turkey's his name. He's like a prince or some shit in
So
Dubai
that
or
was
something.
that clip right there. Matt, before we move on to the next topic, or big topic, I mean, I want to the hell, stop sharing. I want to address this boxing topic that I saw yesterday, or was it yesterday? I think, oh no, it was Monday I saw it. I don't know when it came out. I think it came out last week, but so the rumor is ESPN and Top Rank are reigniting their partnership potentially. This was retweeted by Al Bernstein. Now, I want to make this very clear. I'm not suggesting that pound for pound is a unreliable source, not at all. I am saying that I don't know their track record at all. Maybe Matt, do you know them at all?
I've seen them, and I
Okay.
don't give a bunch of credibility sometimes, because sometimes they do just copy and paste everything.
Push it out. Okay. Yeah. But the only reason I put this out, or that I wanted to use this as a topic, despite the fact that I've seen very little, and I've asked too. You know, I've been asking. You know, I think there's a story there, just on what I'm not hearing. But I just, you know, it's not something I can really say. I mean, I don't really have much on it. But the point I was making is that it feels like Al Bernstein doubling down on it is, or at least like retweeting, is giving credence to it, even though his message here is not necessarily you know, a comment that you would use to suggest he has some insider information. You know, and he says, if you can't read it, it said, I worked at ESPN for 24 years. Their relationship with the sport of boxing has always been schizophrenic. They get enamored for a while, then not so much, then a little interested, then indifferent, sometimes even condescending and dismissive. I didn't even see him put that. This process will never change. So if this story is true, it doesn't shock me. It does shock me. I will say that. It shocks me because I did not think ESPN was interested in boxing anymore whatsoever. And all indicators to me were that they were moving on in a lot of different ways when it came to live sports. You know, gearing up to potentially be its own entity at some point, away from the Disney and the Iger and all that shit. But anyway, Matt, what do you think about Top Rank potentially going back to ESPN? Do you think that maybe you think that Al's right, that this is a situation where ESPN cooled off on it, and now that they haven't had it in a while, they maybe want it back? Or is it a situation where maybe they never wanted Top Rank to be gone or to be done with boxing, but they wanted to come back to the drawing board with a whole new type of deal, right? Like nothing like Top Rank had before. What do you think?
This is ESPN realizing they fucked up. If you want me to be honest with you, Mario, we recall, what did they replace the Top Rank on ESPN with in just this last year?
WWE.
And that hasn't brought in many subscribers, has it?
Nope.
And and as ESPN gets out of boxing, the sport of boxing itself has picked up in buzz in the past year. It's picked up. It's starting to pick up. The big fights are slowly starting to present themselves as real, and ESPN is somehow completely out of it. In an era where not only having boxing and having a foothold in it as a power player is important, but as a streaming platform, ESPN's biggest nightmare is Netflix getting live sports. That is their biggest nightmare, because they can't compete with that. Everything, if Netflix somehow flips everything to one platform, having live sports, if they get local news, if they continue to build podcasts on their platform, they have movies, they have shows, specials, certain live events for whatever, bro. That's their biggest nightmare. And guess what? They already have wrestling on their platform, and it does great. Alongside it, there's boxing. There's going to be MMA on that platform. Football's on that platform. Basketball might be on
Yeah,
that platform soon.
that's true. That is
So
true. I didn't think of
they
it that way.
realize that they need to jump back into the game because the fire is about to get hot. So this is, to me, ESPN realized that they messed up bad, and they're now Top Rank kind of proved they're worth more money because they got a lot of those fighters that these big fights are going to get made with.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. I don't know. I don't think it was the Boxing Boys. I don't remember who it was, but there was a show that had a clip that I came across on my reels, and they were saying how, Top Rank, ESPN, that was all there. They had these guys
Mhm.
fighting under, and obviously, they're building up these guys like Shu and Keyshawn at the time, right? And so it's like hard to say, oh well, here you have your franchise, like when the Astros brought up like Altuve and Bregman and Springer, right? When the Rays had like Longoria and Crawford and Upton and these guys, this is a team that could strive even with the young, talent. That's not the case in boxing. You can't have a group of young, fresh faces out to conquer the world, because that's not the way boxing works. You have to have a draw to get the people in the building to be able to see these other fighters, and then hopefully they fall in love with them, right? That's why one of the most tried and true methods of promoting a fight is having the fighters fight on the same card. That way you're seeing them, and God forbid they both have a great performance. Now guess what? You got somebody saying, dude, did you see Benavidez? Yeah, man, he looked great. Did you see Zurdo? Oh, I saw him too, dude. I would love to see them fight. You know what I mean? That's how you spark that shit into casuals' minds. And that's why they do face-offs now, right? Because back in the day, Don King could rip everyone off financially in the building and then get the same fighters on the same card, right? Today, that doesn't, you're not going to get Conor Benn on the undercard of Ryan and Mario Barrios. But what you can do is bring his ass in the ring and have him do a stare down, have him do a face-off, and that's why you want the optics. You want to give people the product and let their imaginations run wild with it.
You know what else too, bro? This is why it builds more credence that why Top Rank is probably still one of the best places for American prospects to come up. Because think about it, bro. Like, they haven't had a platform in a full year, but people sought out the Michaela Mayer fight. People sought out the Xander fight. The Emilianos and Shushu's, they're still getting fights. A lot of their fighters are getting fights. Torres is about to be on a PBC card. So as soon as they get a platform again, guess what? These guys are exclusive to this home. And then, as you were saying, Xander Zayas is linked into multiple big fights. Shushu is linked multiple big fights, bro. If you want to get everything, like I said, when they brought in Tyson Fury, they became a high commodity because they started getting in their pay-per-views again. ESPN hadn't done a boxing pay-per-view in over 30 years until Tyson Fury showed up. So if you can get these guys back in the game and get streaming and fights back on their side of the street again, it's good business for ESPN. Like I said, and
yeah, you're absolutely right.
And it also showed, like I just said, they followed. I had people around me that casually watched boxing, but they saw boxing because they had ESPN ask me how to watch the Xander fight instead of Tio and Shakur because they've seen Xander. They know Xander's exciting. They watch him as a young career, blossoming him up to a main event, unified champion. They're following. So Top Rank is proving to be one of the best places for American prospects to come up and become household names.
Bro, well fucking said. Well fucking said. Now, okay, so there's two boxing topics one last boxing topic that I have for you. And I'm gonna give it to everybody now. And if you want to call in and let us know who you would put on this list, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Matt would love to hear from you. In fact, you should go to Matt's channel on YouTube and Twitch, Talking About Sports Radio, where he literally talks about all sports: football, basketball, MMA, boxing, wrestling, golf, tennis, ping pong, Marty Supreme. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, the boxing topic that we're gonna have, conversation we're gonna have after this, that you feel more than free to add to, is going to be on. Oh shit, that's not the right one. Wait. Sorry. Here it is. Okay. So, everybody knows that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are fighting on Netflix. When is it? September, right? They got the Mexican
Yeah,
independent
I got
date.
the September 19th.
Ooh, that's
They're
exactly.
going to come back the week after Canelo is supposed to come back.
Yo, that's nasty word, bro. That Floyd just comes back and like, that's mine, bitch. Yeah.
That's his day.
So hell yeah, bro. Until somebody takes it from him, Canelo got to fight
Hey,
somebody.
Canelo was like willingly give it up because you got to remember. I remember
there ain't nobody.
this. Canelo's next scheduled fight, if his contract with the ring is still up and going, his next 2 fights are in Saudi, so he's not even going to be in Las Vegas for the weekend.
Yeah, he
So
would have to fight.
Willingly gave that date away.
He would have to fight like Benavidez. And he's definitely not. But I can't see a fight that anybody would market to go against Mayweather Pacquiao. But anyway, listen, I wanted to have this conversation. And I'm working on a video in the background for YouTube and a reel for TikTok. Because before Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather get it on in September on Netflix, they are going to first have a pair of preliminary bouts. Matt, you know that it was reported last week that Pacquiao and Provodnikov, who you'll remember from having absolute wars with Tim Bradley, they will fight each other in Manny Pacquiao's second fight since returning from retirement. He had the draw with Mario Barrios last year. And Floyd Mayweather will be fighting none other than Iron Mike Tyson. Now, the fight in September is supposed to be a pro bout, right? These other fights are exhibitions. So I would understand if people would say these aren't traditional, what's the word? Like tune-up fights, right? These aren't traditional tune-up fights, right, Matt? Because if either of them lose, the fight still goes on. Matt, do you agree with that? Chat, do you agree with that? Do you all believe that Provodnikov can ice Manny Pacquiao or Mike Tyson can route
him? Gets knocked out? Absolutely not.
If Mike Tyson routes Floyd Mayweather, will we still see the fight in September? I've been convinced we'll see Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, no matter what happens in either fight.
If somebody gets knocked out, bro, this fight is not happening at all.
No,
it's gonna lose its luster. Nobody's gonna want to see it. Imagine if Manny Pacquiao gets caught.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
You're gonna want to watch that in September.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
There's 2 super safe exhibitions because Mike Tyson and Floyd. I feel like Floyd is quick enough. Mike Tyson's gonna go through the motions with him, and they're gonna have a nice friendly showing in Africa. Ruslan Provodnikov hasn't fought in years. Manny Pacquiao just fought, and he looks slow. Stays in shape though. Looks like he's gonna be ready, but it's just again a super safe one. I just hope Chris Algieri calls the Provodnikov and Manny fight, and like as the guy, like, and then the guy that caused this fight to not actually happen in the pros, Chris Algieri. You know, let him be
hilarious, bro.
Man,
hilarious.
Remember, that's what happened. He beat Ruslan. He boxed him after going down and got the Pacquiao.
I remember, bro. I remember. Yo, real quick, I want to say that even though I am of the opinion that the fight will take place no matter what happens, I do love to speculate, Matt. And that's why we've asked the question, when tune-ups ruin the super fight. So what fights do you have out there that you remember that, and this is for the community, obviously, that you remember being ruined by a tune-up or a pre-fight or whatever. This is the list that I've come up with. This is no like particular order, nor is this like me saying these are the greatest. These were literally the only ones that I could remember in such a short time span to think about it. But number one, Mike Tyson and Buster fucking Douglas. Now, if you never read the awesome book that is entitled I don't remember, but it's Jay Prince's book. It's his autobiography. That doesn't look as good either, but whatever. Wait, what about this? Nope, that doesn't work because Matt gets chopped off. What about that? Nope, that doesn't work because Matt gets chopped off. What about fuck it that? All right, so Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson, who fought in Japan, was it right?
Yeah.
Douglas shocked the world, knocking Mike out in the 10th round at a time where Mike Tyson was undefeated and looked unstoppable. Okay, so the impact was that Holyfield and Tyson wouldn't fight for another 6 years. That fight was, people were thirsty for it, and I believe that that was the one and only moment or era for which Mike Tyson could have beat Evander Holyfield. I don't even think he would have beat him, but
debatable.
Yeah. When do you think?
I just don't think it was possible.
You don't think at all? Oh,
no,
that's
because like it proved like that. Well, I guess as shocking as that Buster Douglas fight was, bro, you got to remember it exposed that if you can take the power, you can beat him. And like nobody wants to just go out and straightly get hit, but Buster Douglas kept getting up. Remember, he got knocked down first in that fight. He got knocked down on his own, but he survived that early wave of a dangerous young Mike Tyson, bro. And once they got to the midway of the deep water, he just couldn't get back up. He was screwed. Through all that power, couldn't get him out of there.
Yeah,
and as disciplined as Holyfield was in his career, I feel like he would have beat him either way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now the next one, this is a true ruiner because we've never got the fight, and it looks like we probably never will. But here's fingers crossed. Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, 2019. Matt, you were there. We were there. I mean, not in the building, but we were Boxing Voice. This was a huge moment.
Got a good story.
Obviously. Yeah, it was a crazy era. This fight was supposed to be the one that got us to Joshua Wilder, and it did not, because we had to run a rematch because Anthony Joshua was defeated by Andy Ruiz. And by the way, this was Ruiz, if you don't remember, if you weren't watching boxing at the time, stepping in last minute for Jarrell Big Baby Miller. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Big Baby Miller, you'll remember him as the guy who literally lost his top at the boxing fight a few weeks ago. What fight was it? Was it Haney Norman?
No, he was on the undercard of Shakur and Teo.
Shakur Teo, that's what it was. Shakur Teo. So he's on the undercard, and he literally, his wig got knocked off his head. I'm sure you've seen it by now. That was him, and he failed a drug test. And Ruiz, he's failed several, but in this case, he failed the one that Ruiz stepped in. Now, Lennox Lewis and Hasim Rahman. Now, there's a little discrepancy here, right? Because Lewis and Tyson were supposed to fight. There's another timeline, another Earth in which Lewis beats Rahman and Tyson fight probably happens. Now, this is where I get, into the argument with some people, because the idea that he was definitely going to fight Tyson is a flawed one. We all know what was going on with Mike Tyson at that time. He's admitted what that time in his life was like. To suggest that Mike Tyson would have been, it was solid at that moment to be able to go through with it is sounds like bullshit to me. But Lewis and Tyson was delayed. They eventually got the fight, and nobody, if you were there, you will never forget the moment that Rahman knocked out Lewis in South Africa. It was one of the biggest shockers I've ever seen with my two own eyes watching boxing live. The other one was Vladimir Klitschko, Corey Sanders. That was back in 2003. That was supposed to be for a fight with Klitschko and Lewis. Vladimir and Lewis were supposed to fight. And instead, Lewis would go on to fight Vitaly in the only time they would fight. Fernando Vargas and Felix Trinidad. Now, if you don't remember, De La Hoya and Vargas were supposed to fight. Everybody was calling for the fight, and that didn't happen because Trinidad came out and absolutely showed his dominance. The mega fight was diminished in a lot of people's heads. Fortunately for boxing fans, Mexicans know how to hype that drama up like a fucking Telemundo. And, Vargas, that was a great fight. Roy Jones Tarver, too. If you had that was the book I was trying to talk about earlier. If you never read the book by Jay Prince, his autobiography, he talks about the fact that Tyson and Jones, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, both were going to fight. It was going to happen. He had them both at his ranch in Houston. The contracts were ready to go. And all he had to do was beat Antonio Tarver in their rematch.
That fight around that time too, bro. Man.
I know. That's crazy. That's a crazy fight. Hey, Matt, I got a question.
What's up?
You got any more excuses tonight? Dude, you remember when he said that to him? Yo, my brother lost his shit. That was hilarious.
Ballsy, bro. Ballsy.
Hell yeah. Last one. Yeah.
Fights that fucked up a lot of fights, even though some of those fights still happen. But that, Rob, I imagine the list is incredibly long when you look at what fights spoiled whatever setup fights that spoiled.
Yeah.
At least
the last one I had was Julian Jackson and Gerald McLennan. He was supposed to fight. Who was it? Fuck, I forgot. I forgot to even write it down. Yeah, I forgot. But anyway, Matt, you got any that you pop out of your ass?
Shit. I mean, bro, you gotta.
Hey, Cody, champ in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you on Twitch, Cody.
In terms of fights that got delayed because of something, you got to bring up. Let me think of a recent one. Yeah, Ugas beating Manny Pacquiao. Because remember that was the replacement fight for Earl Spence, and then Manny Pacquiao was supposed to win and go on and fight Spence, but Ugas beats Spence, and then Ugas beats Pacquiao, and then gets the fight with Earl Spence. Another one that I can think of in my head right away. You got to bring up another Manny Pacquiao fight. Maybe that's what delayed the Floyd Mayweather fight, is him getting stopped by Marquez, bro. Probably delayed that fight a couple more years because that was Floyd's next talking point. He just got knocked out. Well, it's not a big fight.
Yeah, no. You're absolutely right. That's a big one. I didn't think of that. You know, another one that ruined the Spence Crawford fight was when Spence lost to the card. Oh fuck! Why did I say that?
That's fucked up, bro. That is.
Why did I say that? I didn't even mean it. That was supposed to be a joke. I'm from Texas. I love Earl. Earl, we love you here at Infighting FX. Clearly a joke. Keep your panties in a bunch. But anyway, yeah, that was a good one, by the way. Very, very good one. So anyway, we're getting into wrestling territory now. All right. We have a very, very special elimination chamber coming up on Saturday. Matt, how special is this elimination chamber? How excited are you?
Meh.
Yeah, champ. We'll do Navarrete after the elimination chamber.
It really does not feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania, does it? That's how I felt. That's how I felt since pre-Rumble.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're not on that road to WrestleMania right now. They've got some decent matches lined up for Elimination Chamber here live in Chicago on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure that it'll save some entertainment aspect of it, but like the interest to me for the WWE and their PLEs they're putting on is just not there. And I really hope they kick it into high gear come Monday Night Raw, man. Especially because after this point we're within 4 or 5 weeks of WrestleMania from this PLE. So if you're looking at especially at the women's elimination chamber, there's no real who do I want to see Jade Cargill with at Mania coming out of that women's chamber. The easy answer is a Tiffany or a Raquel, but would I even really be excited to want to talk about that match? Same thing with Finn and Punk. Like, we know what the answer is going to be. We want to see how it gets done, but it's like, it goes back to kind of those complaints that people have about AEWs. You got to have interest into those great matches. Don't get me wrong. Finn and Punk, it's going to be a great match. Should be a highly entertaining Elimination Chamber match. But interest is just not there, bro. And that's why I've been saying it doesn't feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania right now. What do you think?
I think that you're absolutely right. I think that this time last year we were negotiating for Cody's soul, right? The Rock wanted Cody's soul. And by the way, this is how good last year was. Nobody even knew what the fuck that meant. Most people just assumed it was like he wanted him to turn heel, but Rock made it very clear. I'm not asking you to be a bad guy. Like that's stupid shit. I'm asking for you to join the Illuminati. This is the owl god that we pray to. And let me get you some kid blood. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Damn, dude. Epstein files got me thinking crazy today. But the point I'm trying to make is that it feels almost like a different company. And I mean that. It really does. Like, it feels almost like somebody else took over. Like, I know Triple H is still the booker. I know Triple H is still, the top cock in the back. I know that, but I can tell you that it feels like something else is happening. It feels like somebody's either taken the position from him or they've taken his creative legs out from under him, because nothing feels like WrestleMania. Nothing feels like they have a plan. I mean, all of this is just so bad, Matt. So bad. And we're going to get into the whys of it all. But the biggest thing is the timing, right? Stories are, they can exist in a lot of different structures, right? Or like, yeah, they can be told different ways. But the story arc, the circle, it always works in one way. Like, there's, the hero decides to take that journey, right? Yeah. He decides to accept the challenge, and he's going to face an obstacle. And then he's going to come to a point where, the thematic aspect of the story comes into place, right? Is it man versus man? Is it man versus nature? Is it man versus himself? Is it man versus God? Like, what is it, right? And we're going to find that out. It feels nonsensical. And the reason it feels nonsensical is because last year set up this year for failure. When you talk about the things that were cool last year that felt really awesome, that could work, then were completely abandoned or like not talked about, it was Sami Zayn's heel turn. It was Jay and Roman's blow up. It was what else? I'm missing a bunch of shit right now, but it was all these things.
The bloodline saga, bro. That was what
bloodline saga.
That was what it made everything interesting, was the bloodline.
Absolutely. And so, you have all of that, and then you come to this WrestleMania, you come to this Elimination Chamber, right? After last year, and now Sami is still like on the verge of turning heel. And Jay's still like kind of a depressed guy who also may be suffering from bipolar shit.
It gives credence.
All the storylines have been stretched out.
The baton, and they couldn't take it. No,
it does and it doesn't.
He took a step back for you guys to get over and just push the company, and you didn't do it.
Yeah, it does and it doesn't.
He had a run with the ball, and he did nothing with the ball. They tried to get the ball again, and they still didn't want him.
I don't know if any of that's fair. I mean, if you're telling a story with Sami, no, it's not fair. Let me tell you why it's not fair. Because you a Star Wars fan?
Absolutely, love it.
Okay, now let me tell you. What if I, as a like god of stories, that's dope as shit. That's super sick. Let's say like I'm the god of stories, right? Like in real life, I'm real life Loki, and I have the ability to like retcon everything. And I go back to Star Wars and I take the masterful scene, one of the best in American cinema history, of Darth Vader revealing himself to be Luke's father. Sorry if I spoiled that for anybody. And when he does that, right, I take that moment and I go and I put it in the second movie of the third trilogy. Would that work for you? Probably not, right? Probably not. It would be confusing. It would ruin basically the entire arc of the original trilogy. And that's what I'm telling you, is that Sammy wasn't poo-pooed by the fans. Sammy was put in a position where his story fucking sucked because too much time had passed. How many people would be on the Sammy train if last year it came down to him turning on Jay, ruining his title reign, like, you know, shitting on AJ Lee's heels whenever she was getting changed in the back? Like, I don't know, whatever. Like, all of that would have served him better. You can't say, oh, Sammy didn't get over and the fans didn't like him simply because they fucking forgot he was on TV. Like, that feels more like WWE not sabotaged him, like they don't want him to do good, but they put him on the back burner.
Isn't the term, how can I miss you if you don't go away? If I don't notice that you're gone, doesn't that mean I don't miss you?
Yes.
So what's the big deal? He can't keep his own name hot unless he's linked back in the most interesting did he did. If it's not with Kevin Owens or the Bloodline, Sami Zayn is not an interesting guy, bro. He's not. He's a good wrestler, but he's not a star. Same thing with Jey Uso. Like I said, Sami Zayn got multiple opportunities to see if the crowd really wanted it. And there maybe had there been a point where they wanted it, sure. But you got to remember, he got that match with Roman Reigns in the middle of "We Want Cody" chants. They gave you an option. They chose Cody Rhodes. They gave people, granted, it was a little late because they wanted him to win the Money in the Bank or at least beat Roman. But they gave Jey Uso the ball and they turned on Jey Uso and realized that's not what they wanted. Those two guys have gotten multiple opportunities. And they just don't fit that role, bro. They just don't.
Yeah. I understand that aspect of it. I do.
That's they can't fit those shoes. They're not one of those guys.
And here's the thing. I understand it. We can just agree to disagree, right? But let me ask you this though. With everything you said, and me just, you know, for the sake of the argument, giving in and saying you're right about it all, why would the WWE continue to present him as a story the way they do then? Why is he being teased again to be a heel? You remember as clear as I do, last year they had a whole fucking like month or two, whatever, where who was it? Karrion Kross, right? Coming off the heels of his badass WrestleMania shtick, tried to turn Sammy, right? They had a whole fucking thing. They had a whole feud, all of that. We're back at square one with that. And it's just, it's not American Karrion Kross. Or I guess I should say it's Drew McIntyre, who is Karrion Kross is American Drew McIntyre. You know what I mean? So it's like the same thing, not just in terms of story and theme, but literally set and setting, everything completely the same. So I look at this Elimination Chamber match, which we're going to get into, and I see, oh shit, everybody's doing exactly the same thing. Randy Orton's working with a hot indie guy who's up that they're trying to do something with, you know, from the mentor standpoint of it all. You got Cody Rhodes still, you know, trying to finish his story. Like, Jesus Christ, do something fucking different. You got who else? And that's the other thing, is like Damian Priest for what? I know Jey Uso was supposed to be Reed, but this whole thing feels like a giant clusterfuck of a mess. I want to ask you though, where do you see the chamber going? Your actual booking.
I mean, Cody Rhodes has to win this chamber match, right?
Does he have to?
I mean, yes, because I don't see any of the other baby faces. Is there any other baby faces? Yeah, Randy. Well, maybe Randy and Drew might be something. And then if you're gonna give me Cody and Fatu, but I would really want to see Fatu in the main event world title match, world title level match. But I could accept a Randy. I could accept the LA Knight if you want to finally pull that trigger. But in terms of lore, I would think Cody Rhodes would need to win this match. Former world champion, been screwed over by Drew McIntyre and affected by Jacob Fatu, which is one of the main event storylines. Makes sense. But yeah, the booking of it would have to be either, I would want to say Fatu gets involved in some way or another where they make that triple threat match. But I'm seeing, number one, I'm seeing that Trick Williams and Javon Evans will have one of the biggest performances and star making performances that will catapult them both to main event level firmly. Because not only is Trick Williams already over to that point where he's been interacting with main event talent, this match hopefully will plant him there firmly to where he'll win the world title within the next couple of years. He'd be one of those guys. Love me some Trick Williams. And Javon Evans, I just love his ring work, dude. He's phenomenal, bro. His cutters, the way he bounces and moves around that ring, it's insane. But like I said, as a lore aspect, I would see Cody Rhodes winning. Maybe you're setting up more of the seeds between him and Randy. Maybe him and Randy, final two. Him and Trick, final two. But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like it's super, like it's predictable. And like even if they swerve me, are they gonna swerve me with the right person? Like, are you gonna give me an LA Knight getting a world title shot at Mania, or Trick Williams getting a world title shot at Mania, or Randy? Because Randy's at 14. What, can he get to 16? So it's just like I said, it's too predictable, and it's like if it happens the way it does, all for it. But if it's not,
Look,
then what?
Look. I'm gonna tell you just like this, right? The Elimination Chamber. First of all, 4 matches. You like that or no?
It's been typical of what they had. The 2 matches.
Yeah. And everybody's given an answer. It's been typical. Do you like it, or do you not like it, or are you indifferent about it?
I'm indifferent because there's certain matches that I don't want to see on a PLE anyway that you can give people time for on Raw or SmackDown. But a lot of these PLEs, they have like a long stipulation match, and then in terms of this one, they have 2. So to me, it's fine if, especially because like it's recently, especially because they've been on like a reasonable time. These 2 matches in between, you give me a world title match or something that's interesting too. I'm cool with it, man. I see all the stars.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
WrestleMania, that shit's not gonna work. You're gonna have to give me like at least 10 a night.
Yeah, no. I agree with you on that. Real quick, I do want to just I forgot to show this. I wanted to show this earlier. This is what you get when you sign with Zuffa. Other than the $15 million, you get featured on WWE TV. So this was on Raw this past week. We'll probably see another one on SmackDown, featuring the Prograis poster. So this was on WWE. They put up Connor Benn. You knew the fucking crowd had no idea who this was. And that's the beauty of it, right? WWE is much bigger than Connor Benn. Yep. And that's exposure. And that's not just exposure, it's American exposure. I just realized that Ali's crotch right here as Ben's mouth is wide open. Jesus Christ. All right. So then British Star, and then that was that one from ESPN. They had the boxing scene one on. By the way, did any of y'all catch the Fights ATW response on the Zuffa boxing? Matt, did you catch it?
I did not. What did it say?
Abe posted something from there. I don't remember what it was now. Actually, I think I have it right here. But yeah, he posted something on during the fight, and they had, they shared his comment live on the crowd. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to do this real quick. We have the men's elimination chamber, okay? And we're going to go through the list and we're going to eliminate them together, Matt. All right? Now, I'm going to pull up real quick the card. Elimination Chamber is going to feature Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Trick Williams. So we're going to start with the men's first. Oh, that was my SmackDown one. Fuck. Let me see. Hopefully Abe has it here. I just want like a picture, like a image of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matt, I just want like an image. Nation Chamber match. Maybe this will work. Of course not. Of fucking course not. Jesus Christ.
It'll work.
Like nothing. Like nothing at all. Maybe if I put 2026. Like literally everything but that. This isn't even what the fuck. All right, fine. This one will work. So anyway, we got the 6 guys on. All right. Matt, of these 6 guys, eliminate one. Who doesn't win?
Jey Uso.
Ooh, that's okay. I'm gonna challenge you on that. Matt, isn't it tradition in wrestling for the guy who substitutes for the injured guy to win? Doesn't that happen more times than not?
But you got to look at the spot that the guy he took. Bronson Reed was the only other heel that was going to be in this match. Those are 5 baby faces.
Very true. Very true.
So somebody's going to have to step into that role with Rick Williams as a heel, or at least play the heel. And I mean, Jey Uso, bro, like I said, like he didn't have enough stamina for a house show. I imagine that Elimination Chamber, he wasn't even preparing to be in that match. So I would say
he was huffing and puffing. He was huffing and puffing after that 6-man tag a week or 2 ago. That was crazy. And then y'all told me what he did at the house show.
Oh, yeah, here at the house show, he only went 8 minutes. And it feels
holy shit, 8 Jesus Christ, dude. Wow. He needs to start smoking cigars on his uphill walks with Cody. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, Matt, you're gonna say Jey. I'm gonna agree with you because, as you said, he wasn't originally even supposed to be in this. I can't even imagine WWE running this back in Vegas after you have another Roman Punk match on the card. You know what I mean? Like, it just no way, no chance. That's the other thing about this, right? Like Paul came in the vision. They were like, oh, Reed's gonna come in so that he's gonna win, and then we're gonna take over SmackDown too. And it's like, okay, so is that the rule now? Whoever wins and they're going to challenge, they get to go to SmackDown if they want. Like, the parameters of the match fucking suck, Matt. When you are in the NAACP, I was going to say that. I swear to God, I was about to say that. When you are in the NCAA March Madness tournament, okay, and you are the 16th seed, you know you're playing the 14th. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not the 14th. You know you're playing the 2nd, right? Whatever. Like, you know who you're playing, and you know who you're gonna play if you win. Like, those are parameters that any casual fan can watch. So if my cousin, who is from Mexico, doesn't know anything really about basketball other than Michael Jordan, and he is like, oh, what's this March Madness? And I'm like, oh, sit down, dude, let me show you. He can follow along. When I was a kid, Matt, in 1993, and I could barely talk at age 7. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I was wearing diapers. No, I'm just kidding on that too. The King of the Ring came out. I knew how it worked because there was a bracket that showed me. As young as I was, okay, as Chinese as I wasn't Chinese either. I don't even know why I said that. I knew that if Bret Hart won, he would go on to this match, and if he won that one, he would go on to the finals. And you know what happened? You know what happened when I forget who it was, but two guys wrestled to a draw. You know what happened? The commentators came out and explained exactly what was going to happen next. You see, rules set the parameters for storytelling. So when you have a match that's saying, hey, the winner of this one's going to main event WrestleMania for the world title, for a title. Oh, you mean the same thing that happens at Rumble? Like, it's got to be different. It's got to work different because it's not the same, right? It's not the same. With the Royal Rumble, there are established parameters. If you win, you're challenging whichever belt you want. In this case, it's challenging for whatever belt the other person didn't want. You see, these are very, very bad optics on a thing that, what is this? Yo, Vince McMahon just got into a car crash?
Seriously? Is he dead?
Oh, this is July 24th, 2025.
Oh, from last year. Yeah, the body cam footage came out.
I just saw it. Can you send this to me so I can share it?
Body cam footage? You really saw that?
I just seen it right now.
Oh, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what I would pay for on
Interesting
pay-per-view?
shit, bro. Interesting.
You know what I would pay for? You know what I would pay for on pay-per-view?
What?
Vince McMahon versus Earl Spence in a racing match. No, I'm just, dude,
my
why?
God.
Why do you keep Matt? Dude,
Bro.
we're not on like super late, bro. There are actual people watching right now.
But hey, bro, I'm gonna cut out, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, champ. For real, for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, great work. Seriously, that's Matt Machine Gun, the champ of all champs. Make sure you go and subscribe to Talking About Sports Radio. He does it all. We're going to continue on here. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me see. My brother called me while I was live. I was going to use him as my IRL test.
Hello.
Hey, I'm on live, just so you know. I was gonna ask you. Hold up. I was gonna see if you could cut my hair. I want like a lot of length taken down, like a lot.
Dude, I was gonna tell you. Dude, did you see Joe Rogan yesterday?
Who did he have? No, I don't think I did.
Crawford.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I saw clips on X, but I haven't seen it at all.
I'm gonna watch it, or I'm gonna listen to it on the way.
Dude, well, I was calling to see if you wanted to come on, because I was doing the big TKO conversation, and since you've been sucking Dana and TKO's balls really well, I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding, bro. Like, man, I'm live, dude. You can't talk like that while I'm live, please. So anyway, I was gonna tell you to come on because you saw who Conor Benn's fighting, right?
Yes.
Dude, they're paying him $15 million to fight on the co-main event against Regis Prograis, dude.
Dude, Regis Prograis was over about 2-3 years ago.
For real. Hey, but did you see Sugar Sean talking shit? Sean O'Malley? He wasn't happy, dude. He's talking shit. He's like, bro, I've never heard of this guy. How's he getting 15 million? I've never heard of him.
Yeah, but he's not a big boxing guy, though. Go to the UK. Though.
But that's the point. If you're gonna get 15 million, you should be somebody that even big boxing, even people that aren't big into boxing know.
But trust me, dude, when you go to that arena,
the hell, he just fucking hung up. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully my brother will be able to cut my hair in that way. I can run the IRL, because I will tell y'all that I'm getting ready to do it for golf. I've been playing out there, and it's like you're on it's like a Sunday or like a Saturday if there's no fights, obviously. And it's like we talk about everything, you know what I mean? Boxing, wrestling, MMA, football, baseball, not as much politics, but we'll talk about like current events. And so I was just like, man, it would be great to use something that is recreational for me as a means of you know, like working, like actually getting content in, you know what I mean? So that's why it's important for me to test the IRL shit so that I could see if I'm ready to go. Bam, 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 bam. Yo, Vince McMahon took this fucking header, bro. He's like, it's my granddaughter's birthday. That's how he sounded on the clip, but we'll play it. So anyway, real quick, while we are finishing up this wrestling topic so that we can move on to the next, I'm going to eliminate here. So I had asked Matt to eliminate somebody. He eliminated Jay Uso. Now I'm going to eliminate LA Knight. Now, it's not that I don't think LA Knight is capable of challenging for the title. I also believe he could be a very valuable draw to the match, or to the Mania. I don't think that he's been positioned to be that, right? So, like, if you're Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, or, you know, somebody with a big name, right? Seth Rollins, you can come in and make an impact like immediately, right? But somebody like LA Knight, he needs a storyline, right? Like Cody Rhodes finishing the story, right? That launched him. It wasn't just Cody Rhodes on his own. Nobody was buying that, right? Like, nobody's just buying a character these days. Maybe you could argue Roman and CM Punk, but at the end of the day, you really need a story, right? And luckily for Roman and Punk, they have the history and the nostalgia to go along with their historic rivalry, right? So they don't really got to tell a story because wrestling's been telling their story for them. So now we are where we are, and it's a big match that pits two guys, and you wonder who's going to win. For Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, you know, he is perpetually in that spot. So how does LA Knight fit into Mania plans that have Drew McIntyre as the goalpost? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't work. But that said, there is a idea floating around, not confirmed. Nobody's confirmed this, but there is an idea that while the main event for the world title between the Royal Rumble 2026 winner Roman Reigns and heavyweight champion CM Punk will be a singles match, likely to headline night 2. The idea for the night 1 headliner and or, you know, whatever, is a 5 match, I was going to say fatal 4-way, a fatal 5-way, I guess I'll say, for the world heavyweight, for the world title, or undisputed. So the idea that there's going to be 5 wrestlers at Mania in a single match, 4 people challenging Drew McIntyre for the title. Now, if you remember last week on SmackDown, Aldis was like, hey, Jacob, let's come and talk about your future, whatever the fuck he said. I think whatever happened there, we're going to get an answer to on Monday, and it's going to be how they retcon having Drew McIntyre defend the belt against so many people, because like that's been one of the consistent stories they've been telling with Drew McIntyre has been the idea that he's getting it from all ends, right? Everybody is coming for that title. Everybody looks at him and says, I want a piece of that guy because A, he's a dick, and B, he's the world champion. So he's got a lot of targets on him. And so that story culminating in a multi-man match for the world title does make sense. I don't know if it's the best story. That's not the point. I will say though, I would probably, if I had to pick one to argue, I'd argue again. I would argue that it probably doesn't work as well, or it's not the best story. Let's put it that way. It's not the best direction to go. Again, I'm not saying I know that, because how can you know that? But I will say that, you know, I don't know. It's just like, it's such a mess after that, right? Like this isn't a fucking elimination chamber match, right? At Mania. This isn't a Money in the Bank match. You know, this isn't a Final Four Royal Rumble match, right? This isn't even the situation where at In Your House they had the fatal four-way to decide who was going to be the Royal Rumble winner to face whoever the world champion was at In Your House, and it was like Vader, Brett, I think Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin in like a fatal four-way. That's not even this, right? This is like completely different. This is a situation where they're like, well, we haven't told any stories yet. Might as well tell them all now. They cannot decide who should be in that position because they have not given anyone the chance to show them they can. Let me repeat that. They're going to do a five-way four. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let's do that again. They are going to do a fatal five-way at WrestleMania for one reason and one reason only. Because they have too many superstars and not enough stories, right? They don't know that LA Knight's that guy. So they're not going to put all their eggs in his basket. They don't know that Cody is going to be, redundant for people, right? So they're going to fucking, add him to the list, right? There are even rumors that Randy Orton and Aleister Black will be in the world title matchup come WrestleMania. Make that make sense. Like that's a match that you're trying to make into a singles feud, right? While Randy works with somebody who, really could use the rub in Aleister Black. You do that for one reason and one reason only. And that is because you know that match won't draw on merit alone because you haven't given enough story to it and made it interesting enough. Also, Aleister Black's basically been nothing since coming back. I actually love the work he does, but it doesn't mean anything in the grander scheme of stuff, right? He has his segment. And they're like, go out there and be spooky. And he comes and he does that really fucking cool, casket setup thing. Unfortunately, though, that's about as deep as his character gets. Zelina Vega's, I think, done more for the overall character arc of Aleister Black than he's done himself. And so, if this was 20 years ago, they would have Aleister get eliminated by Orton, right? And then Aleister would come back and help Orton get eliminated. And then that would set up the singles feud, right? And even in more recent years, same thing would happen. Then they would have a match on Raw or SmackDown or whatever, and that would be like a blow-up angle that leads to whatever stip match at Mania. Like, this is all fucking the same shit over and over. There was a thing that came out that the higher-ups at TKO are not happy about all of the interference angles and match finishes that are just so transparent, so obvious. But assuming that we're going to only get one person to fight Drew McIntyre, continuing down the list, I'm going to X out Randy Orton. So we've X'd out Jay, we've X'd out LA Knight, and now we're going to X out Randy Orton. And the reason we're going to X out Randy Orton is because there's already many, many rumors out there that either he's going to be added to the other people on the list without any real chance of winning the title, or he's going to be in a different feud. A lot of insiders have speculated that at this moment in this current landscape of WWE, that TKO doesn't see Randy as a huge viable, superstar, in terms of another title reign, right? I'm not saying they don't see value in Randy. Randy is one of the best. You know what I mean? He has a pretty routine move set these years, right? I'm not going to call it the 5 moves of doom for John Cena, but it is, and they're great moves. They're great moves that he delivers really well. But the point is he does everything so great, right? He's a complete wrestler, the complete package. He is Jake the Snake Roberts if Jake the Snake was given a chance to be a world champion. Randy Orton, I couldn't say enough good things about him. The problem, again, is that they don't seem to see any value in a run for Randy. Also, I think that there's an idea Orton ties the record one day. I don't think they do that. And if they do it, they're certainly not going to do it so close to John Cena. And by the way, if I was John Cena, I would pitch for them to break that shit right away with Randy. Like, can y'all please take away every single piece of evidence of that night at WrestleMania, please? I don't know. But anyway, I was going to bring up something. Fuck, I forgot. Anyway, all right. So we eliminate Jay, we eliminate Randy, we eliminate LA Knight. Next on the list, Javon Evans. Now, Javon Evans was a very interesting ad. I didn't expect it when he won his triple threat match. I think Gunther and I forgot who else was in it, but I didn't expect him to win it. The fact that he did win it, though, made sense afterwards. Being able to play Monday morning quarterback on this one, it's a perfect booking. This was absolutely the right thing to do, is put Javon Evans in this match, despite the fact that he has no chance to win, right? I think Trick Williams probably has twice, if not more, the opportunity or the chance or the percentage of winning this match than Javon Evans does. Javon Evans is in this match for one reason and one reason only. And you all know it. You all know it already. And that's to deliver a freaking show-stopping cutter somewhere on the cage, somewhere in the chamber. Okay. Probably off the top, such a simple Mark thing to do, right? Just to do it off the top. That said, though, he's going to be phenomenal in the match. I think it's always valuable to have somebody in there that is going to play a part that helps up his brand, even if he isn't going to win. And that's Javon Evans in a nutshell, right? I remember when RVD was put into the match, and guys like him put into the match and show out really helps to elevate their aura, right? Javon Evans, if you could say anything positive about his push right now, because I don't think WWE is really doing anything super great with him or super interesting, but what you can say is that he is elevating his aura every time he goes out there on the TV. 2 weeks ago, he had this freaking cutter from the heavens that he dropped on one of the Grandes or the Americanos. And then after that, this past week, he had another one, like mid-air reversal cutter that was just ridiculous. I mean, just bonkers the way he keeps hitting these things. So they're going to have these moments culminate in the PLE with a big moment, and he is going to get a severe push here in the right direction. Now, will he get the kind of push that leads to like an IC title match or like something like that? No, probably not. In fact, they probably go right back to doing exactly nothing with him right after this. But securing a bunch of goodwill in a match like this with, and by the way, getting FaceTime in the ring, in action with the guys like Randy Orton, with guys like Cody Rhodes, with guys like Jey Uso, who have been at the top of the wrestling landscape for this decade. That's a big thing. Seeing Javon Evans work with these guys is like putting money into a bank account that is meant to sell him as a premier guy, right? So that all works to this. Now, we get down to my 2 picks for the evening, my 2 faves. Now, we'll start with Cody Rhodes, who I am picking to win the Elimination Chamber. I think that it's the most obvious choice, which is why I don't love it, which is why I'm doing this whole 2-man thing. It's the reason I wanted to do this elimination style thing, so I could go over every single person and give you their whys and why nots. Well, most of them I've just done why nots, but for Cody Rhodes, it makes the most sense from a storytelling standpoint. I'm not saying it's a good story, and I'm not saying it makes sense in that they're going to be able to tell a better story. I'm saying that with what we've gotten thus far and what we know, it's more likely that we see Cody win this match. Now, I have like almost zero belief that we're going to just get like Cody and Drew. In fact, I have almost zero belief that we're even going to just get a singles match. I think the moment that they made Roman and CM Punk a singles match, Triple H was like, oh, well, now we need a multi-man title match or else WrestleMania sucks, right? He loves his triple threats, and now he's going to get like super horny and add 2 more people to a triple threat match. That's like, he loves it. But I don't think that Cody is the best option to win. I think he is, like I said, the most obvious. If you're in Chicago, it is your duty to leave the crowd feeling good. And the way that you would normally do that on any other given night is have the 2 hometown people finish the night strong together. And that would be CM Punk holding up his title after successfully defending it against Finn, next to his wife AJ Lee after she secures the title win for the IC belt against champion Becky Lynch. Having them 2 at the end of the night in Chicago, in the center of the ring, holding up their belts, crowd goes home happy. Is it the kind of finish to a PLE that the rest of America and the rest of the world watching will appreciate? I'm not sure. So then that points you to the direction of where do they finish, right? How does this card get booked? I will say that there is as much curiosity in how they book this card for me as who actually is going to win. Because typically you want to bookend the 2 big gimmick matches, right? So like Royal Rumble, you start it off with one, either the women's or the men's, and then you finish it off with the men's or the women's, right? Same thing with the Chamber. You're probably going to start off with the women's, end with the men's. I could see them starting off with the men's. I can't see them finishing with the women, right? So either this is going to go one of 2 ways. One, they're going to bookend it, which I think is the smartest choice from a structure standpoint, right? Like from like a time, from like the time they're on TV. I forget what that's called, but like from the moment that the show starts to the moment it ends, I think that's the smarter play. That said, you got to have at least a match in between. So what are you going to do? You're going to start it off with the men's or the women's and then go into AJ Lee and then do the next Chamber match and then finish it with Punk and Balor? I don't know. All I know is that the Chamber is where everybody watching is going to be looking for a Mania boost, right? Each match that happens on Saturday is designed to create a boost for Mania. Now, Becky Lynch and AJ Lee will probably have a stipulation match at Mania after this one. Lee will probably win the title, and then Becky will challenge her to some sort of stipulation. A lot of people are saying it could be a last man standing match, and I like that. That would be really dope, especially because Becky's it's been this whole idea of like her not quitting, her not losing, right? So forcing her into a position where she has to say those words, that would be huge. That said, the men's title match, obviously Punk and Roman, that's the big marquee right there. And then the women's, I mean, I really don't think there's any smoke there. Like zero, like no heat whatsoever. I'm not saying people don't care who's going to win. Obviously, everyone cares. I'm saying no one cares in the sense that any one storyline would be ruined, right? Like, I'm not saying that, okay, so like, let's say nobody cared about Finn and, let's say nobody cared about Punk and Balor, right? Let's say nobody cared about Punk and Balor, and let's say that, they're going to wrestle and nobody gives a shit. Balor winning, I'm not saying it ruins Roman and Punk, but it does ruin what it is now, right? And it's like, are they even going to have it after that if they do that? So what I'm trying to say is that Finn winning doesn't, it ruins people's idea of Mania, because right now the idea is Punk and Roman. So introducing Balor into it doesn't help. And with the women, the opposite is true. There is no story. So whoever wins, it doesn't ruin anybody's idea of what, or anybody's expectations of Mania. Now, that said, Trick Williams should win. Trick Williams should win. I said it. If I have to say it again, I'll say it again. Trick Williams should win. I believe that both WrestleMania and Elimination Chamber would be better served for Trick Williams to win. Now, there's a couple reasons. First of all, he's been doing decent work as a heel, but this guy is getting babyface responses. This crowd loves to chant, "Whoop that Trick." And despite the fact that you missed your opportunity to have him in Memphis, where that, quote, originated in pop culture, in the movie Hustle and Flow, starring I keep saying Terrence Crawford, starring Terrence Howard, who should have at least been nominated for an Academy Award for his performance. But anyway, DJ, right? That was his name. Anyway, Trick Williams has the ability to be a face right now. Trick Williams would also provide the shock ending that people wouldn't see coming. Nobody believes Trick Williams is going to win. In fact, I played this game with Matt specifically because I wanted to see him eliminate Trick Williams very early. He went with Jey Uso, which honestly is probably correct at this point. But Trick Williams is the guy, I believe, that would absolutely inject life into the Mania card. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do Cody and Drew. In fact, you can have Cody cost Drew the title, right? Have Trick and someone else, and then do Cody and Drew and Jacob in like a number one contenders match, or whatever the fuck ever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But you can still have that match. I don't believe Trick is going to win. I want to make it very clear. My pick is Cody. Trick is who I am going for. Number one, I think he would make an exciting match. I like him as a performer. I think he does a lot of good things. But the beyond factor is that he provides a necessary story element that Mania is missing currently. So for the last couple years, Finish the Story has been like the tagline for Mania, right? Now, well, not last year necessarily, but it was still part of like the lore of Mania, right? Because you had Jey Uso finishing his story. So people have become conditioned to that a little bit, right? Why not capitalize on it? Why not capitalize on it? Because you don't have to have everyone finish their story every year. You prove that it can be very, very beneficial, both from a critical standpoint and a financial standpoint, to hold on to somebody's story, to withhold them from finishing it, to build more and more hype towards that moment. That's what you did with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. It was the right move, and it led to an even bigger moment. Trick Williams losing at WrestleMania for the title is endearing, and it starts a story that would otherwise not be being told. And it's not a story you have to capitalize on right away. You don't have to make him the champion this year. You don't have to make him the champion next year. It's a shot he gets. Let's say he loses it and his struggle to like get another shot, right? Continuously coming up short until he wins the Rumble or Money in the Bank or Chamber or whatever. I just feel like Trick Williams provides that boost. If you see him win, the arena will shake out of pure shock. I'm not saying that Trick is more over than any one person in this match. I'm saying that Trick Williams could be more over than anyone else in this match. I don't think there is a wrestler in this match that would have a bigger pop than Trick Williams. Even Javon Evans, he might, I don't know. He might get that 1-2-3 Kid Razor Ramon type of pop, but ultimately it's going to fall short of whatever expectations people have because you're not going to be able to tell that great of a story. Trick Williams has world title or main title energy because he had the main title in NXT. Anyway, Chamber this weekend. My pick is Cody. We're going for Trick Williams here in Fighting FX, and I believe that we will see something strong, a strong finish. I think we'll get. I don't think it's just gonna be like a Cody win. That said, though, there is one more booking I had, and this is something I actually thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to get Jacob Fatu attack or beat up one of these guys, or we were going to see one of them get knocked out of the match, injury, whatever, and Jacob Fatu replace. Do you remember whenever Jade Cargill made her return and beat the shit out of Naomi in the Chamber? That part. Let's do that. Let's run that. Except Jacob Fatu is like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm in this match now. I know I just beat the shit out of Jey Uso and left him unconscious. He needs go away heat anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and stay in this match. And then like all the officials are like, oh, I ain't gonna take him out. Well, I ain't gonna tell him. You tell him. I ain't gonna tell him. Like that. You know what I mean? That would be dope. I think that would really put Jacob over as like this, force, this badass that nobody wants to test. Anyway, that is the men's chamber match. Let's see. Burn, press, rewind, die. Oh shit. I fucked up. Yo, what the fuck? All right. I don't know what happened here, but let's do that. All right. So anyway, final topic with before we finish on the chamber stuff. Hold on. Okay. Before we finish with the chamber card, AJ Styles was on Raw this weekend, or this past Monday, sorry. They did his freaking thing, right? His retirement angle shit. The whole thing was terrible. I can't even believe AJ Styles is like proud of it. I don't mean his career. Obviously, it was a brilliant career. And the final segment was not bad at all. It was like you brought Anderson and Gallows for what reason? Why did you bring them? So that they could be in the back? Like everybody got to the stage like super late. And then it took like Undertaker like 5 minutes to get on his bike. And also, why did the Undertaker's dead man gong go off only for him to ride his American badass bike down to the ring? It was just crazy. All of it was crazy. Apparently, Undertaker's also fucking, what was the guy's name from like the 80s and 90s? He would show up at your door and give you like a big ass check for like the home sweepstakes, whatever. That's who Undertaker is now. He's the guy that tells you won the contest. Look, I'm gonna show the best part as far as I'm concerned. We're gonna have to do it. Actually, YouTube, I'm heading out. I appreciate all y'all for tapping in. If you want to go to Twitch or X, it's at InfightingFX. It's spelled INFIGHTINGFX. InfightingFX all together, and you got to put the @ sign at the very beginning. Otherwise, it won't pop up on YouTube. So at InfightingFX on all platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, X, and IG. Yeah, YouTube, Twitch, X, and TikTok. So I'm gonna head off on YouTube. We're gonna show some stuff that will get us definitely removed on YouTube. So we're gonna say bye here. Appreciate all of you. We will be back tomorrow for a special show. We're gonna do a full Navarrete card preview because I highly doubt I'm gonna be able to get a chance to do it the main event tonight. So we'll save everything for tomorrow. We'll jump on maybe an hour and a half or something like that. I'm gonna put the link, but if I'm not gonna leave it on, I'm not gonna leave it open for long because I'm gonna start a new stream. We're coming back gaming on Twitch only. So if you're on YouTube or you're on anywhere else really, or YouTube or Twitch, then the thing's there. I just put it there. You know what? Let's do it on X too. Fuck it. Press rewind. Okay, it's on StreamYard now. I mean, I'm sorry, it's on X too. So if you want to jump on, you got a few minutes before we shut the show down and come back on Twitch for I feel like playing Undisputed. I'll be honest. I feel like playing Undisputed, but there's a lot more to do with the 2K stuff. So I don't know. Either WWE 2K or boxing. One or the other. But either way, finishing up, AJ Styles was celebrated for his career in WWE. This was sentimental. This was very What the fuck, dude? This is crazy. I don't know what is going on. Okay, YouTube. Peace out, guys. Appreciate you all for being on. And please hit the like, please hit the sub, please hit the follow, share it. All of that helps. We'll be live on Saturday for the Chamber and for the Navarrete fight. And if not, then we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, peace. All right, YouTube.